masterpiece of tradition and craftsmanship, an embodiment of sophistication and prestige. Tenun Pahang Diraja. It all began over 300 years ago in the royal town of Pahang. Today, expert weavers of this exquisite fabric converge in the Pulau Keladi Cultural Village complex. Trained artists of the loom skillfully apply traditional techniques to create the Tenun Pahang Diraja. Their impeccable workmanship upholds the esteem of the fabric, at one time worn only by members of the Malay royal court. The fabric is mostly produced to order, with colours and patterns symbolic of the stature, personality and character of the person for whom it is commissioned. Its motifs are often inspired by natural surroundings, reflecting the values and relationship between the people and the environment. Time, discipline and focus go into the making of each unique piece. One of a kind, truly special in its own way. A balance of traditional methods and contemporary trends. Before actual weaving begins, the weavers and their progenies perform the essential processes, namely melikas, mewarna, menerau, mengani, menyusuk, menggulung, menghubung, and menego. The initial process, melikas, involves the separating of raw yarn. Nowadays, the process is no longer necessary as imported yarns are tangle-free. Mewarna, which refers to the dyeing or colouring of the yarn, can be done using ingredients found in nature or using synthetic dyes. Popularly, natural dyes are derived from the butterfly pea flower and onion peel. Menerau involves transferring the yarn from the spindle onto the sekoci or bobbin. In this process, the yarn is carefully separated so that it will not become tangled and break in the middle of the weaving process. Mengani is where the yarn is transferred onto the loom and carefully calculated for the desired end result. The actual patterns are considered here, and the yarn is arranged and measured to the width and length required. Menyusuk or threading involves the placement of warp thread or yarn onto the gigi jentera, the main part of the loom. Customarily, 10 strings of yarn are threaded using a weaving needle. Next, the yarn goes through a process known as menggulung, where it is attached to a wooden frame and then stretched. Menghubung is where the warp thread is transferred to the karap or heddle loom. Menego involves a close inspection of the yarn on the loom for any defects that may cause problems during the weaving process. Now, finally, the weaving can begin. Depending on the design, geometric patterns or flower motifs are incorporated into the weave using the cholek technique with gold, silver or shimmer yarn. Even after these laborious processes, the Tenun Pahang Diraja still needs to undergo yet another process, and this to make the weave more compact and the fabric surface smoother. The polishing process, which is the final stage of the production, also serves to enhance the silky luster of the fabric. With starch polishing, the woven fabric is soaked in a mixture of starch to stiffen it before left to air dry. Starching gives body to the fabric, and when ironed, the natural gloss of the cloth is accentuated. The second is menggerus or calendaring, which is a polishing method usually applied to finishing off cloths for royalty and nobility. Prior to the process, the fabric is washed using the relak fruit to give it a pleasant scent. It is then allowed to air dry. The calendaring process incorporates the use of the bark of a chermai tree as a frame for the fabric, beeswax, rock resin, and most importantly, a cowrie shell, which is attached to a pliable wooden piece hanging off a ceiling beam. And there you have it, the Tenun Pahang Diraja. This meaningful art has a deep connection with local customs, religion and beliefs, and certain behaviors are observed during the entire weaving process. It is said that those who weave with a pure heart and with respect for the art will be successful in producing a stunning and memorable piece. Undeniably, each masterpiece exhibits the exquisite handiwork and outstanding creativity of the community, making sure the artful tradition lives on through generations. Nothing can quite compare to the distinctive identity of the Tenun Pahang Diraja. The Tenun Pahang Diraja is here to stay. It is a legacy that thrives today and will continue well into the future.